1% of dudes rapping, they ain't nice as me. 98% ain't live the same type of life as me. The judge gave me life and then they sent me where the life is be. That level 4 with depth and vice, the type of stuff they like to see. Two choices, fight or flee. I refuse to die a chump. I never been a mark, but damn, it's scary when that riot jump. I seen dudes cry, get pumped, and some sexually brutalized. Knew a dude who lost his life and he was only doing 5 year-long racial fights when homie all you do is ride. Lonely days and nights up in a hole causing suicide. From the moment you arrive, you see the Mexican Mafia. AB skinheads with big giant swastikas. Pro-black philosophers, the BGF, the Kumi, and Muslims who will murk you from the nation to the Sunni. That MS was loony, quick to ride up on they rival. Even Christians went to church, hide knives up in a Bible. Political and tribal, the Crips and Damus, the Long Beach, the Hubs and the Dubs and the Grooves, the IE, the Bakersfield, the Dago Pyrus, the Hustlers quick to roll, the gangsters don't move.
Say what's cracking, YouTube? It's your boy 16 to life, and I'm back like I'm on a parole violation. You're down. Now, for those of y'all that's new to my page, in 1994, I got arrested. I was eventually sentenced to 16 years plus life, and I've done 24 years straight in the California prison system. Yeah, that's me gassing on that intro song. And if you want to get that song, hit me up on my email, 16tolifemusic@gmail.com, and I'm going to give you the information on how to get it. Now, let's hop into today's video.
Hey, yo, what's good with everybody, man? I hope everybody's having a productive day, feeling blessed. And like I always say, it's one life, one chance. We only got one chance to do this right. Let's get it done. With that being said, man, I'm going to take it back. The other video I did about in the city of Compton, everybody thought I was confused. Are you talking about two different cities? No, bro, all Los Angeles for the most part. Just because the crime took place in the city of Compton, I know there's different cities, and Los Angeles in itself is a city. But most people say they're from Los Angeles anyways, and then when you actually get to know them and bang on them or something, or their homeboys bang on them, then they're from, they're from Puente, they're from Florida, they're from this, but all of them bang L.A., all of them got L.A. tattoos, so I was just generalizing it all as a whole, because they all act the same. They all conduct themselves the same. Southern California is very different, just because there's different districts, all in Los Angeles County, and Riverside County, and Orange County. They all bang Southern California, but for the most part, I was talking about all L.A. since Compton is by L.A., even though it's its own city. But I'm going to take it back to Compton. My last video, it was all right. I got the message across. Some people didn't like it. And this time, I'm going to piss everybody off in Compton. So let's get right into the video.
Breaking into the 4th of July holiday in Compton. Two separate shootings overnight happening less than 2 miles away from each other. Both leaving loved ones on scene in tears. Thanks for being with us on this Sunday morning. I'm Tim Caputo.
And I'm Abigail Velez in for Irene Cruz. 3 people are dead following the violence overnight. The first shooting happened around 11:20 last night at an apartment complex on West Laurel Street. 2 people were killed in that shooting, which happened at a huge 4th of July party. One was a woman who died on the scene. The other, a man who was pronounced dead after being taken to the hospital. Authorities appear to still be searching for the suspected shooter this morning.
First and foremost, my condolences go out to the loved ones that lost their families on 4th of July weekend. Because I seen numerous videos, and I wanted to play some of those videos, but then some of the videos, were memorials, vigils, things of that nature, people crying, people have something to say, people making speeches about certain victims that died and lost their lives on 4th of July weekend, right?
Now, I'll agree with that, right? A couple of days ago, after this stuff initially transpired, I was scrolling through Instagram. I seen a black lady who I believe, just by what she said, she was from Compton, and she was close to somebody who had passed away in one of these shootings. And she said that it's gotten to the point with her where she almost cannot stand black people, that she's starting to dislike black people. And I think the big problem with the gangs, it's like in this day and age, and it's not just Compton, it's everywhere, it's all across America in these gang controlled areas. There are no rules. They don't have any rules. They don't have any standards. Nobody or no one or nothing is off limits. They'll catch you in the car with your kids. They'll kill women. And I think that's the thing that's people are getting tired of, right? They want to be able to go places with their family and feel safe and not feel endangered by something they're not even a part of.
But this is why Compton's weak to me. Because, different cities kill innocent people. Gangs kill innocent people. We can't necessarily say these were gang members that committed these crimes. But it took place in gang neighborhoods. So it's real easy for me to say, man, we blame the gang members. But in reality, gang members are to blame. These gang-infested neighborhoods in Southern California that have been known to kill innocent people, and there's no repercussions because of it, because politics are different. Even with Mexicans, politics are different now. In the 90s, killing innocent people, you probably got stabbed for it. Probably got greenlit for it. Mexican Mafia is too lazy now. They're just bums with big bellies right now to even bother to consider what's happening to innocent people on the streets of Los Angeles or in Southern California. Politics look the same to me now. Mexicans will kill innocent people, no repercussions. Blacks will kill people and there's no repercussions, right? Because, I looked into it. It was a gang neighborhood where 2 victims died. So, like I said, it's easy for me to say, man, blame the gang members, because gang members are promoting this violence. And even those that live in these neighborhoods that don't even join these gangs, they still conduct themselves in the same fashion.
Now, to me, he had a good point right there, right? The other day I happened to be on live with Do Rock Creep, who was an individual who has been incarcerated for the past 32, 33 years, somewhere around there. And I was trying to participate in his live, but for some reason my comment was not popping up. But the question that I was posing is, did he think that at some point in time the blacks in prison should come together collectively and at least agree among themselves that when people come to prison, blacks who have killed innocent children, innocent women, innocent people, period, who do not participate in their gang violence, should they be held accountable, right? Because let's just keep it real. People might say, oh, well, you're still advocating for gangs. People are always going to gang bang. You cannot stop it, right? But I do think it's very wrong for an individual to take the life of somebody who has not signed up for this stuff. This may sound harsh, but if you're that upset or you're gang banging, hop out and get your man. Don't just shoot the crowd up. Don't just, not have any concern with who you may hit, right? And let's keep it 100, man. I'm guilty of the same thing. I got into it at a party, right? And I lit the whole entire party up, which was extremely reckless because I had a lot of friends inside that party, right? And so it's unfair to the individuals who go out to have a good time, right? It's unfair to the people who want to throw these parties and get-togethers to enjoy themselves. Then you have stupid gang members, like myself, idiots who have a disregard for life.
They think picking up guns is okay. They think resorting to violence is okay. They think using a gun before your fist is okay. They'll murder you for any single reason. We blame that on the drill music, and the gang music now. Think about it, man. Los Angeles came out with a city a long time ago, banging on wax, man. Everybody to this day bumps that music.
Now let me pause him right here. I agree with him once again on that. When I paroled from prison in 2018, in my opinion, the Chicago gang culture had influenced many, many different cities, California included. And now, along with social media and a lot of the things that people see on social media, it influences their decision making. And in this music, they talk about, getting whoever. They talk about specifically not leaving any witnesses. And so I think that when these type of things are put into the minds of individuals who are influenced by that type of stuff, they are likely to do it if they get caught up in the right situation, or at least some of them.
Compton got put on the map for a lot of different reasons. On that Banging on Wax CD. I remember it. In the city of Compton. You know that song? I heard about Compton a long time ago. But it's crazy because when you think of Compton, you think of NWA, Ice Cube, and Eazy-E and all them that represented it. I first heard of Compton off Banging on Wax, a Bloods and Crip album. What are the Bloods and Crips really doing for their neighborhoods now? Hypocritical, if you ask me. The same way the Northerners and Southerners are hypocritical in their own sense, Bloods and Crips too, because if you look at the origins and learn it, I went down that road once in a while. Same thing. Gangs to protect the neighborhoods. Now they just kill for neighborhoods. But now they kill innocent people on 4th of July weekends. Because everybody has something positive. Not one negative comment I read. And trust me, every video that I seen about this man right here, a community activist. I believe they said he was a former, gang unit member. He used to work with the gang units, telling kids to stay away from gangs. But every single person online that made a video that I watched has something good to say about this man. Has something positive to say about this man. And then when I would read the comments, so many people that supported those videos that knew the victim in this case, the man that you see across the screen, had something positive to say in the comment section. Bro, I spent about 2 hours going through comments and videos of people talking about this man in a high regard. This is what Compton did to somebody that was a community activist, that was going around telling kids to stay away from gangs, that will go out his way to help you if you needed help. And Compton killed him. A gang neighborhood killed him. Like I said, it could be easy to say, it was a gang member who did it, but it might have been just a street thug. A thug that's influenced by drill music, listens to too much Lil Durk. But since we're talking about Compton, maybe he listens to too much Compton AV or Compton Ave, however he pronounces the name. Dude, I got socked up in prison. Made all this gangster music, then went to prison and got socked up immediately. Left the yard, went to 50-50. So much controversial stuff about that man that I got to see. Maybe they're bumping too much of him. Maybe they just bumped way too much of the game's goofy butt. Maybe too many people in the streets of Compton are slapping YG way too much. A man that dropped a bunch of gang-related Blood albums and then out of nowhere dropped a song about taking a transgender on a date. See, the point I'm trying to make is there's a lot of gangster rappers that came out of Compton. Put Compton on the map as a gang-banging city.
Now, this is, I think, is where he's starting to go wrong, right? He's starting to crucify and vilify Compton. And it's just not Compton per se, if we're going to be 100% honest. This gang culture is all over. It's all across America. You got people gang banging in Alaska, Mississippi, Phoenix, Arizona, Nevada, wherever you want to look. This gang banging culture, whether it's Crips, Bloods, Vice Lords, GDs, is still the same. It's all across America, right? And so this is more, to be honest, of a cultural problem than a city problem. It's not just Compton.
I knew Compton from Banging on Wax before I even went to Southern California. That's how I heard about Compton, then the movies. A community activist member who was trying to do good for people, trying to help people, was a former gang unit trying to teach kids to stay away from gangs. Now an activist in the community, in the black community, trying to help people. You can't tell me he did something to provoke anybody in those streets to kill him. You can't tell me anything about his past was worth all these years later for somebody to kill him. You can't tell me that the good that he has been doing for everybody in that community, all these people that speak so highly of him, that there was a man that was walking the earth that wanted him dead and then seen him and killed him and took the time to do it, took the opportunity to kill this man for a legitimate reason. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I'm sorry that people are gonna be like, well, you don't know the whole story. You might not even know if he pissed somebody off. I don't give a damn. The fact is, this dude was helping people. From my perspective of seeing everybody talk about him good, he was helping him. He was helping people. He was out there in the community trying to change something. That's the scary part. A lot of people always ask me, how come I just do YouTube and speak my mind and talk about gang content and try to educate the kids this way? How come I don't go out there in public and do it? Look what happened. You know how many times I've been invited to Stockton? You know how many times I've been invited to Sacramento? Countless times I've been invited to Long Beach and Los Angeles. Even back to my hometown. If it was a possibility to change lives publicly and in person, trust me, I would take the time to do it. But then you see stories like this where people who are really out there trying to make a change was get killed. You got to see a gang.
Now, once again, this is where this dude is going totally wrong, right? You cannot generalize one entire city, one entire race, anything, right? You have dudes in Compton who are considered what is prime gang banging age, whatever you may consider that, between the ages of 14 to 21, 23, whatever. You have many dudes that age from the city of Compton who don't want anything to do with gang banging. You have dudes that are trying to live normal lives. You have individuals that have dreams of going to school, going to college, starting careers, whatever dreams they may have. You have dudes in Compton who want to become police officers, right? So for him to sit here and say that, that's something that I 100% disagree with, right? I think that he needs to be more careful when making his generalizations.
They just out there trying to kill people for whatever reason. Even if it was an accident, they were trying to kill somebody else, and this victim right here was in the way or wrong place, wrong time. The city of Compton killed somebody that was important. That's why I'm making this video, to piss Compton off. Because another shooting took place, same time, same area. The woman you see on the screen, this young girl, pretty young girl that didn't deserve to die. Guess what? She was going to college. She was going to the University of Nevada, somewhere out there in Nevada. Decides to go from Nevada back to California. Probably to see friends, probably to visit family. You know, a college girl just going out there to have fun for the weekend. She gets gunned down. And I know people are going to say the same thing. You don't know the whole story. She might have caused problems that night. Doesn't matter. It was a college girl that got gunned down in the city of Compton.
And once again, not only in Compton, but we hear these sad, unfortunate stories all across the U.S., right? And so it's a gang culture problem. And I'm one of the first to say that I don't believe that, women, old men, kids, anybody, even men who does not actively participate in these gangs voluntarily and willingly should have to suffer. It's sad that you have individuals gangbanging, right? But I am of the belief of if you join that subculture, then you know what to expect. Jail in a cell and possibly hell, or you might just get all three. And when they come, you can't cry about it because you voluntarily elected to be in that lifestyle. But for individuals who do not choose to be in that lifestyle, I think it is definitely 100% wrong. They should have to suffer for the choices that other people make, right? Not too long ago, I heard somebody talking about, and I'm not going to mention his name, but I heard him talking about there's a lot of snitches and rats in the hood, and what about the homie's grandma or the homie's granddad, Mr. Johnson, let's just say, who calls the police? He looks out his window and he sees, people out there, and I don't know if this dude was implying that something should happen to old Mr. Johnson, but I don't think so at all, right? And I'll be the first to say, even in my days when I was out there in the street, there's no way in the world I would have done something to any one of my homies' mothers, uncles, fathers, cousins who was not participating in this lifestyle, looked out the window and saw some illegal activity and chose to call the police. Even if he told on me in a crime, right? I may have tried to persuade the homie to tell his uncle or his dad to not come tell, but as far as me trying to kill him, no. And here's why: because they didn't sign up for what we signed up for. So you cannot logically or be justified in trying to enforce your anti police feelings and ideology on these other individuals. I mean, if we just gonna keep it 100, that's what the police are there for law-abiding citizens. That's why their taxes are took out of their money and paid into the police force along with other things to provide protection, right? Say your 80-year-old grandma looks out the window. She sees two knuckleheads out there still in their car, and she sees one of them has a gun. What do you expect her to do? Go grab her gun and engage these dudes in a gang fight? I mean, come on, man. You know, the police are there for those who don't believe in taking the law into their own hands, right? And then if we keep it 100, a lot of these individuals across the United States who are gang members and believe in taking the law into their own hands and not involving the police, they get arrested and they crack. They go against their beliefs. They start snitching, telling, and all types of stuff, right? But it's a very sad situation, right? But realistically, people are going to do what they're going to do, right? When I'm talking about gang members. So in my opinion, they should not harm anyone else who is not involved. If you have a problem with somebody else, like I said, get out on foot and get your man. If you do not and you harm somebody innocent, when you come to jail, you definitely should face a retribution that's going to set an example not only to you and to others. And eventually, I believe that problem would stop some. And for those who don't, I mean, you know, at some point in time, and I just feel that the blacks collectively, they have to come together and try to put a stop to this stuff. But do I believe it will happen? I don't think so. And honestly, I used to tell my homie when I was locked up, right? Can you imagine how prison is going to be in 25, 30 years when some of these young dudes who have different beliefs and ideologies become the OGs? Man, it's going to be so crazy because nothing is off limits to them individuals. At some point in time, it has to be checks and balances in everything, even in gang banging.
And that's the part that I seen looking into this story even more, is that, you know, two innocent people, both doing good for themselves, one doing good for the community, lose their lives in a gang-related city, a city that wants to be known as a gang-related city. That's what makes Compton embarrassing. Not just for this incident. There could be multiple incidences that I've never talked about, that I've never seen, that I never came across. This is the one that I want to show Compton what they really look like. Because in this video, I'm going to show you, we're talking about somebody who lost their life. Multiple people shot. Multiple people died. Look closely. Ambulances are there. Cops are there. Victims are dead. And then you got people twerking. Twerking like the party's still going on. Twerking. Nobody was by that girl's side as she died. But people at that party thought this was the appropriate time, the most perfect time to get some attention or wild out. To wild out. Keep the music going. I know you see it. I'm playing it across the screen double. Back to back.
So I'm be through with that video right there. The name of this dude is, his channel is Renegade Media 59J. Now, for those who don't know, Jay was a former gangster, or excuse me, a gang member from the North. And eventually at some point in time, he dropped out. I believe he came to the streets, joined a dropout gang, started gang banging a little while. Then, eventually got out of that, started doing YouTube. Now, in my opinion, right, Jay has became a little, I won't even say a little, I'll say a lot of holier than thou, you know. I disagree with I disagree with a lot of what's going on in the streets today, right? And Jay was a part of that. Jay was a part of a lot of madness in prison and also on the streets, right? And so for him now to come out and make a complete 180, I believe is a good thing. But to preach so I guess viciously against something that he was a part of in the way that he does it, to me it's almost hypocritical. It is hypocritical. It's very hypocritical, right? Because I feel like due to the fact he was forced out, he has took this route, you know, because when he, like I said, when he left the gang he was originally from, he joined another gang and continued to gangbang, came home and continued to gangbang, right? So I just feel that, you know, possibly some of his anger is due to the way he left. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I can't say that his transformation was with open arms or it was a wholehearted transformation. It's almost like a disgruntled former gang member, right? That's the vibe I get from him often at times, right? But before I done this video, I wanted to chat GPT how dangerous Compton is as opposed to how dangerous it used to be at one point in time. Because I believe, you know, Jay is on the outside looking in and he is definitely making a lot of generalizations, right? And so this is what chat GPT said. It says, if you're asking how Compton compares today, the answer is that it still is considered one of California's higher crime cities, but it is not as dangerous as it was in the late 80s and the early 1990s when it had one of the highest homicide rates in the country. For the most recent statistical data available, 2024, released in 2025, Compton continues to rank among California's highest crime cities for violent crime. Its violent crime rate is substantially above the California and national averages, depending on the methodology used. Compton is generally placed somewhere in California's top 10 to top 20 most dangerous cities, though it is usually not ranked number one. Cities such as Oakland, Stockton, San Bernardino, and Vallejo often rank as dangerous or more dangerous depending on the data. It says, well, and that's pretty much the gist of it, right? So Compton has definitely calmed down some, which of course shows that the whole entire city cannot pride themselves on being gang members or acting like gang members because the violence has dropped, right? So I believe that it's definitely more of a culture problem. I believe that the Chicago drill scene and social media, the Crip and Blood scene as well contribute to a lot of what's going on. Me and a friend of mine was talking yesterday. He was telling me that his nephew, who had went to jail before and had served some time and is around the age of 30 now, recently got caught riding around with a Draco, which is a firearm, right? A pistol. And at the age of 30, I mean, I'm like, damn, man, that dude is still doing that stuff at the age of 30, you know? So to me, a lot of this stuff is people are heavily influenced by what they see on social media, right? And so I think that plays a big part in all of this stuff. But to say that any one city that's just like saying like the city of Chicago. Everybody in Chicago wants to be a gang member. No, that is true. I've seen many videos of Compton and Chicago where you have people that would be considered quote unquote regular people doing regular things. Everybody is not infatuated with trying to gang bang, and everybody does not want to be a gang member. Even though you do have individuals in all these cities, like I said, who still look up to this lifestyle. Last but not least, I definitely want to say I'm sending my condolences out to everybody who lost their lives in these situations, everybody who was hurt, traumatized, so on and so forth. I do believe at some point it's time we come together as a race and a culture and try to get individuals to take a look at what's going on and step up out of this lifestyle, right? My whole thing, like I said once again, is people hurting people who have not signed up for this type stuff. That's always been my biggest pet peeve, right? If you gon', get cracking on the right people. Anyway, man, you already know what it is. It's your boy 16 of Life. Resume normal program.